To Washington now, and the fallout from that last-minute deal averting a government shutdown. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy now faces a possible vote to oust him from his job by fellow Republicans, angry that he turned to Democrats for help. Our senior congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill this morning. Good morning, Rachel.
Lindsay, good morning. After weeks of trying to win over the far right wing of his party, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy ended up working with Democrats on a deal to keep the government funded, and now that could cost him his job. This morning, with the government shutdown averted, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy bracing for another political fight, now facing the most direct threat to his leadership yet.
At this time, next week, Kevin McCarthy is still Speaker of the House. It will be because the Democrats bailed him out, and he can be their Speaker, not mine.
Congressman Matt Gaetz telling our Jonathan Karl he will try to remove McCarthy as Speaker this week after he relied on Democratic votes to keep the government funded. McCarthy's response to those threats, bring it on.
That's all right if Republicans and Democrats join together to do what is right. If somebody wants to make a motion against me, bring it. There has to be an adult in the room.
Under rules McCarthy negotiated with his own party, one member can now force a vote to oust him, and several Republicans are furious. He once again worked with Democrats on a spending deal.
We're throwing up a new plan du jour every few minutes, and that's not governing and that's not leadership.
But McCarthy worked for days to satisfy the far right wing of his party. It was never enough. With time running out, he suddenly dropped his demands for border security and instead put a bill on the floor to keep the government funded until November 17th and provide $16 billion in disaster aid. 90 Republicans voted against it. Democrats carried it across the finish line.
I think this is a big victory for Democrats, and frankly, I think that this could have happened much sooner.
The bill passed the Senate with strong bipartisan support, making it to President Biden's desk with just hours to spare. But the president didn't get everything he wanted either. No additional funding for Ukraine.
Democrats and Republicans, Senate and House, support helping Ukraine and the brutal aggression that's being thrust upon them by Russia. Stop playing games. Get this done.
So this was a short-term deal to keep the government funded for about 45 days, which means we could revisit this fight once again right before Thanksgiving. As for that effort to try to force Speaker McCarthy out of his job, well, he still has the support of the majority of Republicans here on Capitol Hill, but it would only take a handful to turn against him and kick him out, Lindsay.
Razor-thin margin there. And there was a bizarre incident over the weekend. What can you tell us about a congressman pulling a fire alarm in the Capitol?
Yeah, this was playing out during one of the most chaotic events over the weekend. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy called a last-minute vote. Democrats were trying to delay this. Then all of a sudden, a fire alarm went off, evacuating a House office building. Congressman Jamal Bowman, a Democrat, was caught on camera pulling that fire alarm. He says this was all an innocent mistake, but that's prompting even more confusion. The fire alarm is red. It is clearly labeled with the word fire, and now Capitol Police is investigating, Lindsay.
All right, Rachel Scott are on the Capitol for us. Thanks so much, Rachel.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.